Hey, everybody, welcome to today's presentation. Now, we're going to be going over the kind of fundamentals about how to lose body fat for the rest of your life. So, we've got a presentation here that's going to go through each individual step about how we can combat this and how you can actually create fat loss for the rest of your life. Okay, so let's get into the presentation itself. So, where do we start? Now, how can you lose body fat? Well, there's a few steps here and there's a few key pillars that we're going to look at that we need to maybe change and manipulate in order to help you lose body fat. So we've got nutrition first and foremost, then activity, then we look into exercise, which is actually separate from activity, then into hydration, and then into sleep. So if you can start working on each of these individually, you can really make progress with your fat loss results. However, if there are some of these that you feel are good right now, it might just need tweaking on other aspects and you're nearly there. Okay, so we need to kind of get all 5 of these in as much harmony as possible in order to lose body fat. And that's how we can create this sustainably moving forward, by working on each of those. So first thing I want you to do is to get clear on why you want to lose body fat. So really think about your why. Why do you want to do this? And when you are clear on that, you can get crystal clear on the process itself, on running through this whole system, this whole process, this whole journey, and you'll actually enjoy it, believe it or not. So you need to get clear on why you're actually doing this. It could be health reasons, could be aesthetically, it could be the fact that you want to just improve your running time, for example, or it could be the fact you want to get into a dress you haven't worn for a long time, or a pair of jeans you haven't worn for ages. It could be the fact you want a six-pack, or you want to look good naked. There's so many different things, but I really want you to get clear why you want to do this, because your why is what's going to help drive you forward for the sustainable results that we're looking for. So think about your why right now, okay? Okay, so first up, we're going to look into nutrition. Your nutrition. Now, the first thing we need to gain control of is your food if we're going to lose body fat. You can never out-train a bad diet, okay? We can't eat a terrible diet, exercise like crazy. Exercise could be amazing, but if your nutrition isn't on point, you're never going to get the results you want. Now, if we can get both of those synced up, you're onto a winner. That is a recipe, pun intended, for great results. So nutrition is a huge part of getting results. You can't out-train a bad diet. You need to create a caloric deficit through nutrition first and foremost. So ways we can do this are limiting the amount of processed foods that we eat, limiting the amount of sugar that we eat, limit or even eliminate alcohol. Okay, now I'm a very big believer in not getting rid of everything out of your diet in order to get results, but alcohol is not going to help you in any way. So yes, by all means, you can go out for a few social drinks and all that kind of stuff. But if you're really serious about getting results as quick as possible, you'll need to eliminate alcohol. And that's not just because of the calories you're consuming when you drink alcohol, it's the day after and the day after that, when we're craving all the foods that we know we shouldn't be eating and we actually eat them because our willpower's gone, our motivation's falling, we're tired, we're lethargic. Alcohol is not going to help you along the way. So a few things to think about there in terms of your nutrition, okay? First thing first is nutrition. Then next up, we're going to look at your activity and exercise. So we need to take a deeper look at your activity before we look at exercise. So activity is your NEAT, generally increasing your NEAT. So your NEAT, if you're not aware, is your non-exercise activated thermogenesis, which is basically walking to the shops instead of taking the car, or taking the stairs instead of taking the lift. Just generally increasing your everyday activity is going to burn a lot of calories, a lot of calories. You'll be surprised over time how many calories this will burn. So just taking more proactive choices in terms of the amount of exercise and activity that you do in regards to your NEAT. So just walk to the shops instead of driving there, for example, or walk to pick up the kids from school instead of driving. Or if you can't do that, if it's not feasible, maybe just go for a longer walk with the dog. Those kind of things, just increasing that everyday exercise and activity. Then on top of that, we can start building a workout program, building a workout schedule that fits on top of your needs. So the first thing we need to look at is getting your non-exercise activity thermogenesis improved and increased. And then we can start looking at workouts, fitness classes, all that kind of stuff. And then on top of that, we can layer on top of that again, and we can look at adding some resistance to your workouts. So lifting weights is very, very good for burning calories while at rest. You're going to increase your lean muscle tissue, you'll boost your metabolism, you'll burn more calories while resting if you have more muscle, more lean muscle tissue. Now, I'm not saying you want to get like Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course I'm not, but I'm just saying a bit of lean muscle tissue can go a long way. You'll look more toned, more defined, and you'll also burn body fat while you're resting, while you're sleeping, while you're watching Netflix. Okay, really, really beneficial way of burning calories. A key one I want you to look at here is finding exercise and activity that you enjoy. So it doesn't always have to be hitting the treadmill in the gym or going to lift weights in the gym. It doesn't have to be a swimming session or a marathon. Find something you like. It could be tennis, it could be badminton, it could be lawn bowls, Could be anything. Find something that you like. And if you find something that you like, you will never have to exercise a day again, because you're going to be doing something you really enjoy. It's just going to be part of your everyday life. And that's one of the keys to sustainability. So if you can find something you like in terms of exercise, that's a win. Okay. And then on top of that, we can also create a caloric deficit through exercise. So we can create it through diet by eating less calories than we require. And we can also increase your calorie deficit by burning more calories. So doing more exercise, more activity. So a couple of different ways that we can really speed up fat loss results. And if you combine the two, your nutrition and your exercise and activity, that is a key for success. Next, we're going to look at your hydration. Now, this is overlooked by a lot of people, and a lot of people I've coached over the years really struggle with this, getting enough water into their body, into their system, to help them feel energized, to help them feel energetic, because it really does help you feel energized. So you'll never feel 100% if you're constantly dehydrated. Without being adequately hydrated, energy levels are going to drop. You'll feel lethargic, which isn't ideal if you're trying to move more, which isn't ideal if you're trying to stay motivated and stay inspired. So a few ways around this is aim to drink 2 to 3 liters of water per day as a minimum requirement. Okay, this might increase the more active you are, but a minimum 2 to 3 liters of water per day. Limit the amount of limit the amount of tea and coffee. Limit the amount of alcohol, definitely, but also limit the amount of tea and coffee that you drink. I'd rather you drink pure water. Now, I'm not saying cut out tea and coffee. There's a place for it, but we need to be drinking more pure water as much as we can. So limit the amount of tea and coffee, reduce it from what you're currently drinking. Okay, so the vast majority of people drink far too much tea and coffee, and it's not going to benefit you. You can also drink low-calorie squash or zero-calorie soft drinks, but again, I would say limit these. All right, so we want to be drinking as much pure water as possible. We want to reduce the amount of chemicals going into our body, just so we can feel on our optimum kind of energy levels, so we can do as much as we possibly can in terms of exercise, in terms of just being lively throughout the course of your life, through your everyday activities. You will feel 100% more energized by drinking more water. So I want this to be a bit of a priority when you're trying to lose body fat. Drink more water, you will reap the rewards, you will reap the benefits. Now we're looking at a bit of a controversial one. Well, not really controversial, but something that people do struggle with. And I get a bit of backlash when I say we need to get more sleep, because people have young kids, people have work night shifts. There's so many different reasons why people don't get an adequate amount of sleep. And if that's the case, I completely understand. Okay. However, we can always look at trying to improve sleep. So even if you're never going to get 8 hours a night, not a problem. Ideally, if you can, amazing, but we can try and improve whatever sleep you're getting right now, and that will benefit you in the long term. Okay, so sleep is crucial with hormone regulation and also with energy levels for obvious reasons. Now, without enough sleep, you will feel more likely you're going to be tired, you're going to feel more hungry due to your hormones. So when we don't get enough sleep, we release a hormone called ghrelin, which makes us feel hungry. It's the hunger hormone, ghrelin. I think of it as gremlin. So if you've got ghrelin present in the body, you're more than likely going to be hungry, and you're more than likely going to want to overeat. So then willpower has to come in, and willpower won't always be there. So by getting enough sleep, you'll reduce that hormone ghrelin being secreted into the body. Okay. So a few tips here I want you to work on. Aim to get 6 to 8 hours per night where possible. Okay, now I know for everyone it's not going to be achievable, but it's definitely something to work upon. Look at reducing screen time before bed. The blue light off screens on our phones and tablets and laptops will stimulate your mind, stimulate your eyes, and you'll struggle to switch off after. Okay, switch off before you sleep as much as possible, so you can meditate, read, listen to a podcast, listen to an audio book. Any of these things. Could even get someone to sing you a lullaby if you want, I don't know. But switch off before you go to sleep by doing these things. Try them. It's worth trying. Trial and error. Avoid too much water before bed. The reason being, we don't want to be getting up every couple of hours to go for a pee, which will disrupt your sleep. So avoid drinking too much water after 6 p.m., for example, and avoid caffeine after 3 p.m. That's a definite one here, because caffeine can be in our system for up to 10 hours after. So if we can avoid it, it's going to give us a far greater chance of a more restful night's sleep. So look at 3 p.m. as a cutoff time, maybe even 2 p.m., depending on how much caffeine affects you. Okay, so a couple of things there to work on. Sleep is really going to help you with the energy levels, but also help you control your hunger. All right. Now, onto a big one. This is the big one, really. So you have to do everything that you can if you want to change. If you are going to lose body fat, if you're going to change your physique, if you're going to get healthier, fitter, you've got to do everything you can. You can't just expect it to happen. You need to work at it. You need to be in the zone. You need to be present in the moment and give it your all. It's crucial that you do everything you possibly can. There's no shortcuts, an easy way to do this, unfortunately. However, what I can say to you is that if you work really hard, if you put the systems in place to create a sustainable way of doing this, you'll never ever have to do it again, and it will be easy as you move forward. You'll easily sustain the results and maintain your progress moving forward. That's the carrot here that I'm dangling in front of you. We need to give it your all. You need to work hard initially, but it's going to be seamless for the rest of your life, and that's going to be a huge one here. Okay, it's for the rest of your life. So ways to keep motivated and keep doing everything you can. Think of your goals constantly. Okay, always think of why you're doing this. Go back to the start of the presentation. I spoke about your why. Think about why you're doing this. Ask yourself why constantly. Always ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Think back to your main goal. That will help push you through. Ask for help whenever you need it. You can ask me, you can ask a friend, you can ask a family member, you can go on the internet and try and find out the answers yourself. Ask for help. There's no harm in asking for help to help you through any difficult moments you're having. Minimize outside distractions. Minimize the amount of times you are going out for a takeaway or you're going to the pub. Okay, try and minimize these distractions as much as possible, because if you're dead set on achieving your goals, missing out on them for the short term is not going to be a problem, because you'll be able to do them eventually and be in the greatest shape of your life, be in the fittest state you've ever been. Okay, we need to work hard, really need to work hard on all of those 5 aspects I spoke about at the start of the presentation. We need to really work hard on those. And if you do, guys, if you work hard and you go into this with an open mind and think, I am going to do this, I'm open to learn as much as possible, you'll get there. You 100% will. Okay, you need to believe that you can do this. All right, so how can we do this? Well, if you're watching this right now, I'm sure you've tried many different things in the past, but you're probably lacking in self-belief. That's what I would think you're probably lacking in. I've seen it hundreds of times with myself, with clients in the past. They strongly lack in self-belief. But you have to think you 100% have the ability to change your health, your body, and ultimately your life, because you do. Every single person has this ability. We just don't believe in ourselves enough. So believe in yourself. Start telling yourself you can do this. You really can do this. Buckle yourself in for the journey. It's going to be fun, but it's also going to be difficult at times. Be open to learning new things, okay? Really be willing to take things on board and think, oh yeah, what I was doing was wrong or not helping me. Let's try this and let's see if this works. Oh, and if it works, then amazing, isn't it? So be open to learning new things. Be willing to sacrifice a few things. Be willing to sacrifice alcohol for a bit. Be willing to sacrifice takeaways for a while or most of the time. Be willing to go to the gym when you don't want to go to the gym, or to get up early to go for a walk. Be willing to sacrifice a few things. Be willing to create the change you've always wanted, you've always longed for. And then at the end, it's time to get excited about it, okay? This isn't just going to be a slog. It isn't going to be a hard slog. It's time to get excited about what you want to achieve, about your goals, because we're trying to change your life here. And just think about how much better your life's going to be when you get to where you want to be, okay? Getting excited is a massive part of this. And I really want you to start getting excited about your goals and what you can do. Visualize your dreams. Visualize how you want your life to look. Visualize how you want to look, how you want to feel. Weigh up, is that version worth some short-term sacrifice to get to where you want to be? And my response to that would be, it will 100 million% be worth it, okay? Dream about where you want to get to. Dream big. Plan and visualize your journey and roadmap from there. So when you've got your goals, your aspirations, then start putting a plan in place and start picturing what you're going to need to do in order to get to where you want to be. Get excited about achieving amazing things, guys. It's going to take you a long way, and believe in yourself. You really can do it. So as a couple of tasks I've got for you guys today, at the end of this presentation, to start maybe getting the wheels in motion to help you get the results that you want. So I want you to start analyzing what you need to do in order to get the results you want. What do you need to improve on in terms of your sleep, activity, exercise, hydration, and your nutrition? What do you need to do? What do you need to improve on? Which of those do you need to improve? Maybe all of them, maybe one of them, okay? Look at each of these areas and really think about how you can go about improving them. Get a plan in place from there. So when you've got your aspects that you need to improve on, get a plan in place from there. Start writing down, right, how am I going to do this? Am I going to go to bed earlier one night? Am I going to try and drink 3 liters of water a day? Am I going to try and go to the gym 3 times a week next week? Get a plan in place and start to implement those strategies, okay? Then start getting enthusiastic and excited about who you want to become and the life you want to live. Let's get these tasks done today. Let's really start building some solid foundations to create the results that you deserve, all right? Right, that is the end of the presentation, guys. Hopefully all of that has made sense. Thank you for spending time listening to me talking about that. Hopefully these kind of simple strategies will really get the wheels in motion for you to achieve great things. But if you've got any questions about any of this today, you can let me know. So you can email me at mark@zenithfit.co.uk. You can jump onto my Facebook and it's just Zenith Fit on there. Just search that. Instagram is Zenith_fit and Twitter is @ZenithFit. Now, if you've got any questions, jump on there, drop me a DM. I'll be more than happy to help you out. But guys, thank you so much for listening to this presentation. Hopefully it's really going to help you moving forward. I'd love to hear your feedback as well, or share it with someone who you think will really benefit from it. But that's enough for me today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Take care, and I'll speak to you all really soon.